Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no, there we go. Now you should be able to hear me. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to... Gosh, I'm going 3 for 3 in damage control games, 3 days in a row. This is damage control versus Panic Ward in the Telkom Do Gaming Dota 2 Telkom Do Gaming Summer League Premier Playoff, sponsored by Asus and Steel Series. You are joined here with the sultry tones of Richard DeMoNiK Showberg. I'm going to be taking you through this game once again. And pretty standard bans coming out so far. The Potom not commonly seen, but Lycan and Ember Spirit definitely up there in terms of heroes banned. Oh, my microphone is extremely loud. There we go. That should hold things a little bit on my recording. DC.Dota not doing too well, I don't think. Had a quick look at what we're dealing with as damage control pick up Invokers their first pick. So looking at the playoff brackets, this is the Premier playoffs. So they're fighting for 4 spots, and there are they're fighting for 4 spots. There are 9 heroes in the pool, 8 left, I think. Fighting for 4 spots. SW or Panic Ward, better known as BUD Panic Ward, are actually sitting at top of the list, just ahead of Infinity Gaming. Infinity Gaming ints are at 3-0. BUD Panic Ward are actually 3-1, so they've got 1 extra point to at the moment, and are looking pretty good. DC.Dota, they've played 4, 1-1, lost 3, so times are tough for them. It looks like they're most likely going to have to remain in the Premier Division, though they've still got some games to be played. I mean, in the First Division. As we see Viper going to come out for Panic War. That's probably going to be matching up against that Invoker. We have seen in Rock's Kiss and other teams running that Invoker in safe lane, so it is entirely a possibility that they want to do that. And I wouldn't blame DC.Dota if they want to. Getting up those Necrobooks can be extremely powerful. We got to see the second poison man come out in the form of Venomancer. So the double slow coming out from Viper Venomancer is disgusting if it both lands on a hero, and is generally a solid support. I mean, Venomancer hasn't really been seen. I mean, Starladder didn't see much Venomancer at all, but in the local scene, it still seems to be the sort of support flavor of the week. That's an ancient apparition. Teams like going that Venomancer. Centaur Warner still in the pool. Dazzle is also still in the pool. So it's going to be interesting to see what damage control are going to pick up here. They may just decide to go for maybe a straight push strat. Nature's Prophet is still in the pool, so Invoker summons plus maybe a Luna, Nature's Prophet, something like that. Just push down some early towers using the creeps and that damage aura. It's always a possibility. Put the pressure on Panic Ward. Viper and Venomancer, if the pressure comes on early, they are not the best at dealing with pushing strats. So there is something that damage control could be looking towards.
Bad dude's banning someone now.
So we're going to see the Centaur Warrior come out. So damage control off to a Starladder DK start. I'm not sure on the stats, but I am pretty sure that those were their picks in almost every single game in the tournament. Invoker and Centaur Warrunner, just two incredibly powerful heroes. Centaur Warrunner can just negate the effects of the Venomancer and Viper and get his team into the fight, so the slow doesn't really affect them, and they can get up there, get in the grill, and start doing some damage. Which is always something that you have to think about. Oh, I'm really cold. The Storm Panda ban is an interesting one, considering that they have a Viper already. I'm not sure that they would have picked up that Storm Panda. I think they picked up the Viper pretty much as the laner against that Invoker. Disruptor is actually a pretty good counter to Centaur Warrunner, because the whole team charges at you and he just goes lol, glimpse, and then problems. So good ban coming out from damage control. Both teams have used up quite a lot of their overtime so far.
Reserve time.
It's interesting to note that Naga Siren is actually still in the pool. This may be something that damage control would want to pick up. Maybe put the... Oh, you see, Naga Siren is going to struggle a little bit in the middle. Maybe pick up the Naga for a safe lane. Put the Invoker middle, Centaur Warrunner off lane. Maybe BUD Panic Ward could be looking towards a Naga Siren as well. Naga Siren really good at shutting down that Centaur Warrunner ulti and getting his team in a good position for a team fight. So, possibility for both teams. Gyrocopter is going to be the final ban. 20 seconds left on Panic Ward's overtime. So they don't have much time left for the rest of these picks. I think it's about a minute left on damage control's overtime. And they're going to pick up a twin-headed dragon. Ooh, are we going to see a Faceless Void? It's entirely possible. Maybe Darkseer Faceless Void is their final two picks, or... I would be a little bit worried if I'm with damage control at the moment, just because that Jakiro pick usually means that there's gonna be more AoE incoming. But Jakiro does give them some anti-push, which is maybe something they're looking towards as well. There was a recent change onto his Ice Path and Liquid Fire in the last couple of versions. The damage is just a straight up 50 on Ice Pass at all levels. It used to be 25, 50, 75, 100 if I'm not mistaken. And the Liquid Fire is now castable onto heroes and towers. So damage control are going to pick up the Faceless Void to deny Panic Ward that pick. Oh, Bat Rider, a hero that I have actually completely forgotten about. Oh no, Richard, you're a terrible caster. But Bat Rider is going to be the fourth pickup. That might be their mid matchup against Invoker. Invoker might struggle a bit actually. Bat Rider does pretty okay against that matchup. So they've got two solid mid heroes. Bat Rider could be thrown into the off lane, maybe safe lane as well. But with Venomancer and Jakiro, I have no problem with Panic Ward pick going into an aggressive tri lane here. Dazzle, excellent pickup from damage control. Gonna make sure that that Void stays alive and hopefully gets the farm that he needs for the early game. So really interesting picks coming out here from both sides at the moment. As we enter our final ban stage.
Five seconds remaining. Reserve time. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team banned.
Abaddon going to be the last ban from Panic Ward. An interesting last ban. I'm not sure that they would have picked it up. I think it would have given them a little bit too much melee for Faceless Void ulti. Perhaps Sand King would have been a better ban. I think Sand King is definitely a more viable option. Dazzle, Sand King, Shadow Demon.
Reserve time.
The Shadow Demon Dazzle combination is wicked, and it does just a ton of damage. The ability to disrupt someone, walk up, and then Shadow Heal. Shadow Heal? Shadow Wave as he comes out of the disruption. Just if there's Soul Catcher on there, he pretty much dies instantly. So Lifesteal is going to be their carry pick, extremely good. Spectre, the final ban from damage control. Again, I'm not sure that they would have picked up the Spectre. I suppose it's the logical choice. So Lifestealer is going to be the last pickup for Panic Ward, which gives them a scary aggressive tri-lane. Venomancer, Jakiro, Lifestealer, if they latch onto anything in that tri-lane, Faces Void, Dazzle, it's going to be pretty much tickets for them. So that's going to put the Batrider most likely in the safe lane to get up that early Blink Dagger, and the Viper middle. Those two solo roles could swap around fairly easily. They both do pretty okay against the Invoker. As we wait for the final seconds for damage control to pick up their hero. 4 seconds remaining, 3, and they're going to go for a Weaver. A Weaver? This puts damage control onto dual lanes? As we head into game, we've got BUD Panic Ward, otherwise known as PW, going up against DC.Dota. You're listening to the sultry tones of Richard DeMoNiK Schoberg. On the side of BUD Panic Ward, we've got Hez going to be taking up that Jakiro. We're going to have Riz playing the Viper. We're going to have Brawl 1739 taking up that Venomancer. We're going to have got to call him Nebby. Nebby for this game is going to be taking up that Lifestealer, and Ghosty is going to be on the Batrider, as we see an early smoke coming up here. In the top lane, we're going to have Julian Asanjaniasha taking up the support role on that Dazzle. We're going to have Hellhound, the hard carry for DC.Dota, taking up this Faces Void. A little bit worried for him though. Style going to be mid on that Invoke. He's picked up X-Sword as his first level, so it's going to be an X-Sword Invoker coming out from him, and Phobia is going to be taking up that off lane on the Centaur Warrunner, and Evil Librarian is going to be playing the Weaver off lane by the looks of things. It looks like Julian Asanjaniasha is going to be the sacrificial lamb here, and yeah, he is pretty dead. But he should be able to good smoke from them to wrap around. They managed to get a Sentry Ward right here, so there's going to be no pull pack for DC.Dota. It looks like PW's also got their pack warded. It's showing my things on the map, but it's not letting me draw. Funny. And but there's going to be a solo lane here in the form of Ghosty on that Batrider against this dual lane. I reckon he should be okay, and the pressure should be fine. I think Evil Librarian should be just fine to get some farm. It looks like Phobia is actually going to be a support Centaur Warrunner, something that we haven't seen that often at all, but does have the ability to push once he gets a couple of levels into return, so it is always a possibility. I think there's going to be a lot of action in this top lane. So a lot of action still happening this tri lane as the game unpauses, it gets underway. We've got another Hez just doing what he can to get some harass down. This lane is pushing. We've got no sentries on Phobia, but he's walking around for the meantime. We may have some action here. Nebi's on half-life. Going to pop a tango. Doesn't have a salve though, so has to be a little bit careful here. Hellhound doing just fine. He's managed to go Time Walk as his first level. Looking at the CS, it looks like Nax is having no problem farming here. He's up to 9 CS, sitting at top of the board, and Ghosty also picked up his Tranquil Boot, so he's going to be just fine in this lane for the meantime. And Rez as well. Also the just pause after pause coming out here. I'm not sure whose strats I actually preferred this game. I think if the Batrider catches out the Void before he's able to ulti, things could go horribly wrong for DC.Dota in the team fight. But they do have Dazzle, they do have Invoker, they do have plenty of ways to stop this Evil Librarian. Just throwing off some spam. Top lane, Navy's still farming freely. Void is up to 5 CS, so not doing too bad. Both carries have managed to have gotten a Quelling Blade and a Stout Shield. Some people would call this lazy, some people will... But I'm okay with it. And it looks like Faceless Void is going to go for the Burning Wall. So we see the stun onto Brawl and the Shadow Wave, and that's going to be a kill. So not first blood, but good work from Phobia to get a kill in this tri lane. Julian Assange and Yash just going to actually harass this out. So good start from DC.Dota in this tri lane, managed to pick up a kill. Evil Librarian's up to 4 CS, he's not doing too bad, but all 3 cores of PW are just outright winning in CS at the moment, which is a little bit worrying considering that it's only 3 minutes into the game. But it should get a little bit easier for Style once he gets a few more levels on Exalt. Decided to go for that 1-1 build just so that he has the power to go invis if he really must. Julian Assange and Asher just doing what he can to keep that Void alive. Void up to 13 last hit, so he's on now equal footing. Up to 900 gold. Nenny's got to be careful here. He might have to... Doesn't have a level in Rage. So he's not... He has no ability to go Magic Immune at the moment. Which is an interesting decision from him. But I suppose he will go at least 1 level in Rage, level 3. It's going to be interesting to see how many of these carries actually want to go Midas. We could see a Midas coming out from Rix. He's up to 1,300 gold, 20 CS to the back. Just to the 8th of Invoker. It's going to most likely slow down his mech a little bit, but I think it will ultimately be no so. I've misspoken as he picks up his trades, so he's got his trades flying towards that mid lane. Phobia looking to make a wrap around with a haste, but gets spotted out with the Twin and an Ice Path just to let him know that they know that he's there. And this is fairly quiet actually. Phobia's running in, he might be able to get off a stun, running extremely far forward. The Liquid Fire gets put onto him, dealing him a little damage, but he's going to pop a Tango and he should be just fine. He's almost got enough for his Tranquil Boost, and that's where he really gets going. Style of the Beat has picked up his boots for himself as well. So he's up to his phase boots. 2 levels of the Quas. So we may see him change to a Quas Vex. He may just have gone that second Quas just to help with the harass from Rix for the moment. Evil Librarian doing just fine. Managed to pick up the Quilla in this lane. He's got a TP as well. Ghosty's got his level 6, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to do anything. He's up to 1,200 gold, so this Blink Dagger is going to come out extremely quickly, and then if he decides to TP after it, I think it could be a problem. We're going to see the slow go off. The Ice Path is going to come through. Shadow Heal does well. Hellhound is not going to beat him, but he actually needs to help his team at the moment. Sunstrike, is going to miss.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Phobia
attack.
taking some poison damage, but it looks like everyone's just going to back away for the moment. Julian Assange might be in a little bit of trouble. We've got 10 seconds till the open wounds. He's just going to run. And I think he's going to be just fine. So, these tri-lanes are flirting with each other. He has managed to survive, but I feel like he needs to go back here. I'm not sure this one Tango is going to be enough. But the Centaur is going to run his way back to base. Oh, he's so close to those Tranquils. He really wants those. It looks like Styles actually changing over to that Quas Vex build. We see just 1 point to the Exort, 2 points to Wex, 2 points to Quas. Oh, Nebi is extremely low. He's got to go down. Julian Assange is both heroes are low in this tri-lane. Looks like Hares might be able to go down as well. So that's that's Gridlock getting a double kill, but it looks like he might go down as well. So this is ultimately going to be a 2-for-2 trade by the looks of things. Or is he going to get away? Poison damage, just making sure that he keeps it on, but it's only level 1, I think. Yep, no, level 3. But it's not going to be enough to get rid of Julian Assange for 2-for-2 at the end of the day. Pretty even trades coming out for the moment. Nebi has gotten his phase boots. Looking at Faceless Void, he's picked up a Midas recipe, so he's decided to go greedy, even though there's an aggressive tri-lane up against him. Which is fine, considering that he does have an aggressive tri-lane and he's managed to pick up that recipe, so he's just 500 gold from getting that Midas. It's not going to be the fastest Midas in the world, but it's going to help him to stay relevant. And because Nebi hasn't got a Midas of himself, it could play into his own hand. Phobia just looking around, he's up to level 3. I think the big level on the supports is actually Julian Assange, who's up to level 5, so he's almost level 6 already. Brawl just doing what he can to get as much poison stacks onto these onto the heroes of the Dire. Rex is up to 1,400 gold, so he's getting pretty close to a mech if that's the way that he's going to go. I imagine that it's going to be the way that he's going to go. Blink Dagger is going to be picked up extremely quick. Blink Dagger on Ghosty. And I don't believe that they've seen it either, so he could look just to go get some HP mana, gank this top lane, lasso the Faceless Void, and then suddenly problem town for DC.Dota. An early blink like this is never good on a Batrider. You've got a Viper with the Haste Druid here. He's got about half the time with it. He's got his level 6. But I think they may want to wait for that Batrider. He's getting his mana up in Fountain. Got a TP on him, so we'll have to see where he's going to go, or if he's just going to hit straight bottom and continue farming. If he ganks another lane, it is going to give Evil Librarian the opportunity to farm and get a couple of kills up. So Ghosty's going to come in here. We see the lasso onto Style. Good blink from him, and then Style may be in some trouble. We do have the Shallow Grave going out, which is going to keep him alive for the moment, but Nebi is outside, so Style's going to go down. No kills on the side of... 2 down for DC.Dota, 3 down for DC.Dota. They're dying faster than I can call out the spells, so 5 heroes here from NUB. Evil Librarian has TP to the top lane, but I think he's going to be in trouble, and that is a team wipe. Julian Assange, I think, may have survived, but he was the only one for DC.Dota, so 4-4-0 trade. And Ghosty revealing that he has a Blink Dagger now, so they're going to be more aware of that in future. But one can never expect the 8-minute Blink Dagger to come out from a Batrider.
Bad dude's top tower gonna fall over soon. Yo, green dudes.
And BUD are just going to take this T1 tower. Now I'm going to put some pressure onto Julian Ashe. He's going to be in some trouble, and he's just going to die. Shadow Grave still on cooldown. It's just come off now, just after his death, but unfortunately... not going to be enough. And Nebi's just going to get back to full health by using Infest, and he's going to carry on farming. He looks like he's might be going for... no, most likely just going to go for that early armlet. And Ghosty's going to TP back bottom. Evil Librarian should have just stayed down here and farmed, to be honest. The quicker that he can get a Lincoln Sphere up is going to be just so much better for him. Being able to negate either the Viper Strike or the Lasso is absolutely integral. And now Nebi is able to farm here extremely far up in the bush. He's got supports nearby, but I'm not sure. Hellhound has managed to pick up his Hand of Midas, so should be able to stand at least toe to toe in terms of farm as long as things don't get too out of control. 7-4, the lead at the moment for Bud Paddock Ward. Looking at the golden XP graph, you can see that last fight did a lot to put the golden XP. Not too far though, 5,000 gold, 2,000 XP, so not out of reach by any means for DC.Dota. They do have the power of the void, never forget that. And Armlet has an extremely early Armlet. 11-minute Armlet for Lifestealer, who's now suddenly looking extremely scary with those phase boots. Brow has managed to pick up his Phobia may just die here. The ward is going to go off. Junior Sanchinash pops a heal, but Phobia doesn't have a TP, so he's not going to be able to TP out under the protection of that Shallow Grave, and it's just going to drop. So another kill going the way of BW Panic Ward. And they're so aggressively positioned here that they're just shutting down any space that the Void might be able to have, which is exactly what you need to do against the Faceless Void. So they've obviously played against this matchup before, they know exactly what they need to do. And they might just dive this tower here. He's got the armlet, I mean he's tanky enough, just uses Infest though, so perhaps may just want to wait for that before doing anything else. And DC.Dota need to group up here and get these people out of their woods. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 heroes from BD Panic Ward, just Batrider, who's working towards his 4-staff. He just needs the recipe to be able to get that. And Star's going to have the initiation. EMP is going to land on the Venom, not before he gets off his ulti. The Rage comes off, which is going to make sure that Nebi doesn't lose any mana. And Phobia is now in a lot of trouble. He's going to just die to the Shakiro Slam while Nebi takes down an Invoker on the back end. It looks like this is going to be another bad fight. Venomancer does go down though, so DC do manage to get a kill. Evil Librarian doing what he can. Nebi is extremely low, doing what Argotoning just to keep himself alive. Julian Sanjinasha might go down here. Tries to get the hit while Nebi's armlet was off, but good armlet targeting from Nebi ensuring he's alive, and that's going to be a 2-for-1 exchange? No, the Centaur died as well, and it looks like Hellhound is going to go down here as well. Ghosty joining the fight here, and that's another team wipe for PW. And it looks like Phobia is going to go down here again. So DC looking in some serious trouble here. 14-5. They do have the Faceless Void. They do have the means, but I think if they gonna need a couple more levels on this Exalt Invoker if they really want to do damage in the Chronosphere, because it's pretty much him and Void that they're relying on. They don't really have that much to throw into the Chronosphere in terms of just straight damage. They're looking for things like the Meteor and the Blast Wave from Invoker, which do exceptionally well if they're allowed to just roll over people. So Hellhound, he's managed to get his treads, so he's still picking up some farm. The Lifestealer is going to be extremely close to Basher if that's going to be the way that it's going. As I say that, he picks up his Javelin, so he's watched Tavor's Lifestealer. He's fully aware of how to play this hero. The bugs are going to come off from Evil Librarian just to try and slow this push down, but I'm not sure that they should be fighting at this T1. The Weave is going to go off. EMP and Tornado is going to land on just the Venom. The Centaur has managed to pick up his 6, but Ghosty just picks him up. And looks like he's going to be in some trouble now. Evil Librarian's doing what he can, but he's going to Sakuchi out the battle. On the back end of the fight, we've got Julian Assange in trouble. But it looks like Navy's going to get a good armor targeting from him, and now his team's coming to assist, and that's going to be 3 heroes dead for absolutely nothing. Evil Librarian now in a lot of trouble. He's going to backtrack, which is going to keep him safe, avoid the dust, but it's going to be another free tower for Bud Panic Ward, who are looking extremely strong actually. Twin doing what he can to deal with Evil Librarian, but they're just going to carry on pushing, and I don't see why not. We've got the 4 staff most likely coming out. 4 staff coming out in the Batrider, so that next initiation is going to be even more deadly than the last one. Weaver doing still what he can to slow the push, but this T2 is going to go down without much consequence. And I feel that they're not going to stop rolling. The snowball is just getting completely out of control. 4 staff coming out for Ghosty. We see the Basher coming out for Nakes. Sitting on the chicken, so that chicken's most likely going to be on his way now. Phobe's managed to pick up his level 6, but doesn't even have Tranquil Boots. So there's going to be no Blink Dagger coming out from him anytime soon. And he realized that he's in a lot of trouble and he's going to back away here. Unless DC initiates on their terms, I'm not sure how they're going to win a fight from this point in.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
The PW have done extremely well they've gotten at least 2 sets of mana boots on them at the moment, so that EMP is not going to be dealing the kind of damage that you really want. And now the Blink's going to go in, 4 staff's going to come out, which is going to bring Julian Assange, the hero that they actually want to kill. Now with no Shallow Grave in the fight, they can't afford to stay here. They just need to back out until defend at the T2. It's their best option now. Evil Librarian going to take some harass. He's going to have to get out to get away. Still sticking around, but Rix has picked up a Sang and Yasha. He's picked up a mech and he's got an ultimate orb, so he's actually got his mats if he really wants it. As we see, Style just getting utterly gibbed by the Lifestealer. Phobia is going to go down. Rix is suddenly up to godlike. 2,000 gold on the bank. The Lifestealer is still wailing on that. The bash hitting on Hellhound. Julian Assange Yasha might go down here again. Evil Librarian now in a lot of trouble underneath his own tower. He's going to try to get away. And not going to be able, it's going to be successful for the moment, but may still be in some trouble. Tian? Sorry. Sorry about that. And they're going to take another T2, so that's all 6 towers at 18 minutes into the game. Looking at the golden XP graph, we've got 10,000 in favor of the Radiant in terms of XP, and gold it's heading up towards 20,000. They're going at pretty much 1,000 gold a minute as they head into the Rosh Pit. And they have the mech is going to be up in 3 seconds, which is going to give Nevi a bit of health, and it's going to be exactly what they need to take down this Rosh. He's picked up a Hyperstone. The cores are just so rich on BUD Panic Ward. They've pretty much won all of their lanes. And this is going to be a free Roshan and maybe a free kill as well. Phobia's going to get hooked. And is he going to make it to the low ground? He is, so that's a free kill for them. As he goes down, the EMP goes off, which is going to get rid of at least some of the mana for now. Evil Librarian should be able to escape to safety here. You need to run. You're under cover of a Sentry Ward, Stephen. Run, run, baby, run. 22-5 the score at 19 minutes in. Things are not looking good for DC.Dota, but never down and out with a Faceless Void. He's managed to keep up the farm. He's got a Mithril Hammer. Most likely going to go for that BKB. Just to try and negate as much of this damage as possible in the team fights. I think the biggest problem is going to be this Lifestealer, who's just so far ahead of him. Now got an Aegis, Basher, Hyperstone, working towards his Assault Cuirass. We see the chicken go to the secret shop, but that's going to be the Viper working towards his Argonum Scepter. He's picked up a full Manta Star. So he's looking quite tanky. Evil Librarian managed to pick up that Ring of Health, but hasn't gotten any closer to any closer to that Lincoln Sphere. Maybe with just trying to stop, you know, not go for the Lincoln Sphere. Maybe just go for a BKB at this point. Maybe even a drum, just to try and stay alive in these fights. In these kind of situations, you don't have to be defeatist about your item situation, but you have to be realistic in that you need to grab up some HP, some health, some mana to make sure that you don't die as easily in the team fights. And hopefully that will make the difference between you winning and losing. But at the moment, EMP's going to go off on Ghosties. He's going to 4-star out. He's going to be just fine. Try to go for that initiation. Didn't manage to get it, so they're just going to back off for now. And it looks like BUD Panic Water just got to push high ground here, and I don't see why not. They've got the Aegis, they've got Mech, they've got almost every T-Fight item. Then what's go? Venomats has almost got himself an Argonum Scepter, so the supports are looking extremely good. Shakira's got a Ring of Aquila, so not something that you'd usually expect from a Shakira, but Ghosty's going to look to take out the Weaver here. We've got the bait, people. As I hear a Viper Strike go off, that lands onto Hellhound. He's going to be just fine for the moment. And the Blink Lasso goes off. He's going to grab Style, and Style's just... Oh, good Shallow Grave coming out. So Style's going to survive for the moment. He's still standing fire. The Chrono goes off to try buy some time. So the Aegis actually lifts off the Lifestealer. He's managed to go down once in this fight. Julian Sanjinasha is going to most likely die to the poison damage. Evil Librarian may be in some trouble as well. But good fight coming out from DC. Only the Invoker down so far. Hellhound may be in some trouble. Phobia's going to go down. So that's 2 down so far. Julian Sanjinasha still ticking down, but not going to be able to do anything at the moment. And this may just be Rax. Do we have a glyph on the side of DC? We do have a glyph on the side of DC, so they just holding it for the moment. 2 seconds until that Invoker's back. The Aegis is down, and Mech is cooling down, so we don't have a Mech or Aegis for those fights if DC decides to go in, and that's going to be 1 set of racks so far. Melee first and ranged. Are they going to decide to go for a second one? The top tier is pushed in, and GG well played get called out. So DC.Dota starting just to get out of this game. Really convincing victory coming out of BUD Panic Ward. Looking at the golden XP graphs, I mean 14,000 XP, 20,000 gold. The aggressive tri-lane just worked off, just shutting down the space from the Faceless Void, not allowing him to farm. He did manage to pick up that hand of Minus, but it ultimately didn't help as he lost too many towers too quickly. And so this has been very well played from the Radiant. They managed to get their core items out extremely quickly, and then they knew that their team fight was stronger and just grouped up as 5 and slowly shut down everything that DC.Dota had to bring to the fire. So this has been BUD Panic Ward versus DC.Dota in the Telkom Do Gaming League Summer League 2014 Premier Playoffs, sponsored by Asus and Steel Series. You have been listening to the sweet /sultry tones of Richard DeMoNiK Sjoberg. If you liked what you are listening to, this cast will be available on my YouTube channel as well. So you can go to youtube.com /DeMoNiKZA or search for DeMoNiK Goes Gaming on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter as well at twitter.com /DeMoNiKZA, and you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com /DeMoNiK Goes Gaming. Thanks for listening, and hope you have a pleasant evening further, and don't forget to keep gaming.